Hello everyone and welcome to our YouTube live event. We are coming to you live here from the Spencer W. Kimball building here at our beautiful BYU-Idaho campus. We're super excited to talk to you today about the BYU-Idaho application, some tips and tricks and things that we've learned as employees working here in the admissions office. So please, just as a reminder, this YouTube live event is being recorded, so you can access it anytime and anywhere after we do this live stream. So it'll be posted on our YouTube channel, so please, if you have questions or wanted to review over something that we had said, you're more than welcome to click on our video once we post it after this. So first, to begin, we just want to introduce who we are. My name is Mallory. I am a history major here at BYU-Idaho. I'll graduate in just a couple of semesters. I'm from Caldwell, Idaho, and I really love Idaho. I love being here. And I've worked, yes, it is. And I've worked in the admissions office for almost 3 years. So anyway, we can move on to other people.
So my name is Jetta. I have been coming to BYU-Idaho for about 3 years with a mission in between. I worked in the admissions office for about 2 years. I'm studying English education, and I'm a huge, big BYU-Idaho fan, so that's what you need to know about me. I love BYU-Idaho.
Awesome. And then my name's Jared. I've been here since 2015. I came for a year, went on a mission, came back, and I actually graduated in December. I'm majoring in international studies, and I really love it. I've had a great time here. Would recommend it to anybody.
All right, so just so you know, what we're going to be going over today is an overview of what the application looks like, as well as tips, tricks, common mistakes that we've seen, as well as some deadlines to be aware of. So we hope that you guys are taking this seriously, because we're excited to share what we have learned as employees here. So,
oh, Mallory, this just came flying through the air.
Wow, very exciting. So for those of you just tuning in, please scan this QR code, because we'd love to keep in touch with you, as well as we are announcing winners of some free BYU-Idaho swag. So our first winner of the night is Ariana from Colorado. So you will be winning an awesome BYU-Idaho t-shirt. So we will be in contact with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we're going to start with an overview of what the application looks like.
So with the application, one of the first things you're going to need to know is, how do I get to the application? Now, we've tried to make it pretty simple. If you go to the school website, which is just byui.edu, you will see in the upper right-hand corner there's an orange apply button. And if you click that, it's going to send you to another page on our school website. It talks a little bit about what kind of applicant you may be, just some information of what you can expect from the application. But if you're just trying to get to the actual login, you're going to want to hit that next orange Apply Now button, and that'll send you over to the church website.
And so don't be alarmed when a whole bunch of other schools pop up when you get to this page. A lot of people get kind of confused. You're watching this because you want to come to BYU-Idaho.
Yay.
And we're in the middle because we are the best. But go ahead and just click that BYU-Idaho Apply Now button. It's going to be that little pencil. So you'll click on that, and that's going to take you to the login to the application.
So this is what the login actually looks like. Now, we get a lot of people that are a little confused. They think, well, I clicked BYU-Idaho. Why does it say Brigham Young University? This is the correct login page. So BYU just hosts the application for BYU, BYU-Hawaii, and BYU-Idaho. So if you're applying to one of those schools, you're all going to be using the same login page. So don't be alarmed by that. Now, when it comes to actually logging in, you will see there's lots of different options on here. My most recommended way to log in would be through a net ID and password. Now, if you've ever attended EFY or a BYU sports camp, odds are you probably already have a net ID, whether you know it or not. And right underneath the password option right there, you will see a link that says need help logging in. If you click on that, you can recover your previous information and get on your way with the application. Now, if you know you don't have a net ID already, right below on that bottom arrow, there's a link that will help you set up an account. Once you've created that, you can come back to the login page, put in your newly created net ID and password, and get into the application. Now, at one point during the application, you will be able to link your church account to your application. Once you've done that, if you need to come back and log in again, you're more than welcome to sign in with your church account that you see up on that top arrow, and that'll get you in just as well.
All right, so once you're logged in, this is what the page is going to look like. It's a welcome page. And there's more information about all of the BYU schools. So you are welcome to click on those and learn some more information. You can honestly just hit continue and go on through the application. The next section is going to say it's a privacy notice. If you have questions of what that is, there is a link in that paragraph that you can click on. But just go ahead and click save and continue through that section. Then it's going to take you to the identity section. So this is where you're going to fill out your personal information, what your name is, your date of birth, all that different stuff. So pretty self-explanatory.
And so you're going to get to this section. It's the school selection, and it's pretty simple. You're just going to select which school you are wanting to apply to. BYU-Idaho is one we would suggest. So when you first get in, it's going to say apply. And so you're going to click apply, but once you go in a second, third time, it's just going to say continue application for semester so-and-so. So you're just going to click that button, and it's going to continue on to the BYU-Idaho application.
So this is when you're officially in the application that's only for BYU-Idaho. And it's made up of three main sections. You have the profile section that I'll talk a little bit about. You have the academic section, which Jetta will talk a little bit about. And there's the status page. We're calling it a section for this, but it'll really just give you an overview of what's going on for your application, what's in, what's not, what you need to be doing. So that'll always be your friend as you're working through this. But for the actual profile section, it's actually made of subcategories, which you can see on the left there. You have the information release, which is actually just very similar to that privacy notice that Mallory mentioned earlier. You have the educational summary, which is arguably the most important part of the profile section, because that's going to be where you're really telling us what you're wanting from the school. Are you wanting to come on campus and get a degree? Are you trying to seek current enrollment courses while you're in high school? Or are you just wanting to take a couple classes and not get a degree, but maybe just to enrich your own education? Now, this is what really molds everything from here on out. So read through it carefully, make sure you're answering it accurately. And as you change your answers, you'll see different questions pop up. Just keep rolling with them until they stop, and you'll move through there. The profile section will also have you select what semester you're applying for. It'll have you put in your citizenship information. You'll put in emergency contact information so that if something goes wrong, we know who to contact. You'll answer a little bit more information about yourself in the biographic section, as well as the miscellaneous section. And then the religion section, that's where you get to link that church account that I mentioned previously. That's when you can then start logging in with that as an option as well.
So that was a great overview of the profile. So now we're going to talk about the academics. And this goes just as it does for profile for academics. It's really important to read the fine print. Just pay attention because everything that you select is going to affect the rest of your application. So just make sure that everything that you are selecting does apply to you. And so with the academic section, there's going to be an educational history, and it's going to go over your high school, your college and university, your transcript, and your ACT and SAT. So that's the overview of the academic section, and then we're going to go into a little more detail about that. And as you continue on, it's going to show up throughout the application. On the right-hand side, there's going to be a section of instructions. So if you do have questions, go ahead and read through those instructions. And if you're still having a hard time, feel free to contact us. We love helping you guys. We're super nice, super helpful. Maybe I'm biased. But just go ahead and read those instructions. They're going to be super helpful throughout the whole application process.
All right, and if you are just tuning in or haven't scanned this QR code yet, please do. We'd love to keep in contact with you. Whoa. Oh my goodness, another one out of nowhere. And we'd love to announce the winner of our next free BYU-Idaho swag, and that is Camille from Indiana. So Camille, we will be in contact with you, sending you an awesome BYU-Idaho t-shirt. So thank you for tuning in. All right, the next section that we're going to talk about are some tips and tricks that we have learned as we've worked here. So the first being is kind of Jared went over with the where to go to apply, right? So we go to apply, or we go to BYUI.edu, and you'll see that apply button. So sometimes you also take a break when you're in the middle of applying. And so if you ever need to log back in, please remember to go here and click on that apply button. If you hit that sign in button, it's going to say that we have no record of you. That's because that sign in button is for current and admitted BYU-Idaho students. So please just make sure to go through that apply button. It'll take you right to those login screens that Jared had talked about earlier. Or another simple way is that you can just go through apply.churchofjesuschrist.org, and it'll take you right to the application page.
So it looks like we actually have a question coming in that we're going to answer real briefly. And that question is, are the BYU and BYU-Idaho applications linked together?
That's a good question.
That's a really
very good question.
Yes, and that's important. So if you are filling out your application to BYU, but you also want to apply to BYU-Idaho, there will be an option in the application to also send your information to BYU-Idaho. So yes, you can apply to both schools by filling out the BYU application, and you can opt to take that to us as well. That way you don't have to fill out 2 applications. You can do one and it comes to both schools. So that way it saves you time. Good question.
That's a great question.
So another tip that we want to point out is always try to use your unweighted GPA when applying to the school.
Yes.
On the transcript section that Jetta mentioned, that's where you're going to put in your GPA from high school. Now it asks for either an unweighted GPA or a weighted GPA. Now, all we care about in the admissions process is an unweighted GPA. That's what we use to evaluate your application. And so if you know that, put that in. If you don't know it, I would highly recommend asking your school what your unweighted GPA is, and they should be able to supply that for you. Because what will happen is, if you put in a weighted GPA, you're going to have to go through and put all your classes that you took from 9th through 12th grade, the grades you received, so that we can calculate that unweighted GPA for you. Now, if you're looking and you're seeing what's an unweighted GPA, it might also be on your transcript located as a simple GPA. That's another common name for it.
This is another helpful tip, and it's been pretty prevalent. So with ACTs, it's been hard to take them lately. So as of right now, ACT and SAT scores are not going to be required to apply to BYU-Idaho. However, if you do have those scores, please submit them. It's going to benefit you in the future. And when you go to continue on with this section of the application, you're going to be asked to submit them. Not that you have to, but with those test scores, they're going to be used for registration purposes to help place you in certain classes as a new incoming freshman. And so there's going to be another reminder. There's obviously a box that keeps popping up because there's a reason. We get this question a lot, lots of phone calls. So just know, if you have those scores, submit them. You don't have to use them for the application process and review. But again, it's going to help with those registration and those placements for the classes.
Plus, I mean, if you paid to take the test, why would you not want to send it in?
Yeah, and that's your hard work. You want to be rewarded.
So you'll notice when we're going over the application tonight, we're pretty brief and pretty general with what we say. We do have very in-depth tutorials on the school website to help you get through certain sections. Let's say you're still like, well, I don't really know how to send my transcripts, or I don't really know what I'm wanting to do on campus in that educational summary. If you go to this website, we have video tutorials, and they can walk you through that. And that's just at byui.edu/admissions/application help, and they'll be able to get you through what you need. Now, this is a new addition to the application this year. If you've seen it in the past, you know this wasn't there before. But when you're reporting your college and university history, let's say you took classes and now you're transferring to BYU-I, and you need to send those transcripts over, it will ask if they were reported in quarter credits or in semester hours. Sorry, quarter hours or semester hours. And that's important to know. Odds are you're probably not going to know that information right off the bat. So give your university a call, ask them how they report their credits. That way you can answer that question to the best of your ability.
Yeah, another new addition to the application is when reporting those concurrent enrollment credits, as well as your high school transcript. So if you are still currently in high school and you've taken dual or concurrent enrollment classes through another university, the application is not going to require you to submit those transcripts in order to submit the application, if that makes sense. Now, if you have already graduated high school, the application is going to ask that you attach a transcript to the application in order to submit it. Now, after you have submitted your application, of course, you probably want to get credit for those classes that you took from another university. So please make sure to send over your transcript after you've submitted your application if you are still currently in high school.
All right, maybe I'm biased because this is what I'm talking about, but I think this is one of the most important tips you can get from this is start early.
Yes.
Please start early. It's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit me and her and him and everyone. And your mom and dad. I know a lot of people come into BYU-Idaho, they want to serve a mission. please don't go off on your mission and make your poor mom or dad apply for you. So just get started early and then get your application in on time, and then we can work with you from then. But if you leave us limited time, that leaves us limited resources to help you. And I'm a big helper. I hate not being able to help people.
It's true.
So start early, sending your transcripts, getting your application and your recommendations. Just get that taken care of as soon as you possibly can. Alleviate stress from yourself and us. So I hope you got that you need to start early.
I think they got it.
I think.
I hope so.
Should I say it again?
Another one of our tips is to please use Google Chrome or Firefox for the application. Microsoft Edge doesn't work with our application. So please make sure to use those two internet browsers. It'll work a lot better than if you use anything else, I promise.
Wait, hey guys, why are Microsoft workers always so stressed?
I don't know, because I work at Microsoft.
Because they're on the edge.
Oh. Yeah, so don't use it.
Oh, not good. Okay.
For those of you just now tuning in, please make sure to scan that QR code if I can hold a t-shirt.
There's more than one.
Oh my goodness. We have 2 winners for our free swag. So if you want a t-shirt, please make sure to scan that QR code. Our 2 winners are Augustus from Massachusetts and Carlos from Kentucky. So we will be in contact with you to get you these awesome t-shirts. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna toss this back. All right, so the next section that we're gonna go over are some common mistakes. The 3 of us have worked here for a couple of years now. So we have seen a lot of mistakes, and we want to help you so that you don't have to make those mistakes, so that your application process is smooth.
And these are mistakes that we've made too,
Oh,
applying.
my gosh,
So
yeah.
very common and well overdue, I guess.
So one of the first common mistakes that we see often is that when you are in that beginning identity section, when you're filling out your name and birth date, oftentimes we see that parents' names, siblings' names, other random people's names,
Grandmas.
I had a girlfriend once.
Oh yeah, that their name shows up on the application instead of the actual person applying. And this happens oftentimes because there's autofill on computers, and we understand that. But we have added in this alert to the application so that it says, is this for sure the name that you want on the application? So please make sure to check that it is actually the student's name that is applying to BYU-Idaho and not a parent's name or a girlfriend or a dog. I don't know. Anyway, but just make sure that it's your name.
Oh, Mallory, it looks like we just got a question that came in. This question is, so you applied before your mission. Whoever asked this, yes, it makes your life so much easier. And like I mentioned, your mom's life so much easier, and your dad's, or whoever's going to apply for you. So what you can do is you start early. That's my number 1 tip. And you submit your application. Say you get admitted. Once you get admitted and you set up your BYU-Idaho account, you accept your track, what you have to do is a missionary deferment. And all you do is you fill out a form saying what your mission is, when do you leave, and when do you return. You submit that to our office. We get that placed on your account. So when you come home from your mission, you're just ready to jump right back into school and keep on going on with life.
Yeah, it's really nice. It'll just hold your enrollment for the 2 years or year and a half that you're gone. So if you apply and you don't come for your first semester that you're applying for, and you put on that mission deferment, no big deal. We don't necessarily expect that, especially if there's that deferment placed on your account. It's going to hold your enrollment. So anyway.
Right, and that's not to say that's the only way you can do it, but that will be the easiest way for you. If you are in a situation where maybe you're on your mission right now, you can still apply. This just makes it so you don't have to worry about that while you're still on your mission. So
you have a lot to do as a missionary, so.
A lot.
And either way, we'll help you. If you're on your mission, you're at home, we'll help you.
Right. And so another tip that we run in, that we want you to know, because this is a mistake that we see a lot, is the student sends in their endorsement to their bishop, but they don't ever let their bishop know where they need to go. And so we have this here on the application. It points you to the link that your bishop needs to go to, which is endorse.byu.edu. That's where he's going to be able to log in and approve you after he has that meeting with you. Now, it doesn't just magically show up in your bishop's queue. You will need to send it to him, and you will also need to make that appointment with him. So don't expect your bishop to just magically know you need to meet with him. Be proactive, send the request to him, contact him to make that meeting, and then let him know where he needs to go. Bishops have a lot that they already have to worry about. Don't make them try to read your mind too. But once your bishop does endorse you, it'll go right automatically to the stake president, and then you repeat that process, meeting with one of your stake presidency members, whether the president or his counselors, and they'll be able to help get you on your way.
For sure. So this is what that status page that Jared was talking about. This is what it looks like. So another common mistake that we see is that students are trying to submit their application without finishing some of the incomplete sections, as you can see on the screen. So one of the most important things especially is that you have to pay the application fee. So there's a $35 application fee. So please make sure that that is paid, because you won't be able to submit your application until it is. So if you'll see all those black check marks, you should be able to see all black check marks, and then you can submit your application. All right, and again, please make sure to scan this QR code so that we can keep in touch with you. And we have a couple new winners for our BYU-Idaho swag. So the first one is good catch. The first one is to Kaya from Pocatello. That's super close to us. And then the second one is to Samantha in Texas. So thank you guys so much for being here, and we will be in contact with you about getting you your awesome t-shirts. All right, keep going.
So something that we get questions about a lot is deadlines. When do I need my application in by? Is it too late? How much time do I have? Now, all the deadlines are posted on the BYU-I website at byui.edu/admissions/application deadlines, but we'll talk to you a little bit about them now. So the general rule of thumb is the year that you're applying for, and we're talking for fall semesters because that seems to be when most people are applying for. Let's say you're wanting to come fall 2022. The priority deadline is going to be February 1st, and the same would be if you're applying fall 2023, it's still going to be February 1st. Now, there are different deadlines for different semesters, and those are all posted on the website. But the priority deadline, Jenna talked about it a little bit earlier with starting early. It's really going to make your life easiest if you get everything done by then. You just get everything in, you can start looking into housing, you're not worried about a housing complex filling up so you can't be with your friends. You kind of just go on cruise control until registration comes around, so that way you're not trying to get everything in so you can get registered. It just takes a lot of stress out of the process of getting ready for school, which is, it can be a little scary. It's new, but we're here to help you every step of the way. Anything you need, we can help you out.
And we just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope that what we said was helpful, and we're grateful that we were able to share some of our knowledge and advice with you. And right now we do have a live chat, so we're going to answer some questions that we've received throughout the night. So if you guys want to, if you had any questions from what we said or need clarification, please go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'd love to answer those for you.
For sure.
And don't forget to scan that QR code. And our last winner of the night for free BYU-Idaho swag is, drum roll please, Kellyanne from Alabama. So Kellyanne, roll tide. We will be sending this over to you. Thanks so much for being here.
And in case there was anything you missed, we are going to have another YouTube live event starting at 7 o'clock. But like Mara said, we're here to answer any questions that you do have for a little while here. So feel free to send them in the chat. We'll answer anything we can for you. If there's anything that we haven't covered tonight, like I mentioned earlier, there are those videos on the school website that'll go pretty in depth to the application. You can contact our office by phone, email, live chat, whichever you need. It looks like someone has a question about letters of recommendation and do you need them? We also get asked about essays a lot as well. Our application currently does not have any essays that you need to do. BYU does, but those won't copy over if you apply to both schools. We don't need those. The only thing we really need that's letter of recommendation worthy is we do have a seminary recommendation. So if you're in high school and you're applying, you will be asked to send a recommendation letter to your seminary teacher that they will fill out and send back to us. And there is a portion on the application. All you have to do is type in your seminary teacher's email, send that off to them, they'll fill it out, and that information comes back to us. If you do have any issues with that, definitely let us know. We can try manually sending it from our end. Things happen. technology is great until it decides it doesn't want to work.
Until it's not.
Yeah, it's great till it's not.
And it happens. It's not your fault. It's not the application's fault. Sometimes things just happen, but we're here to help troubleshoot with you through that process.
And you guys might be feeling a little overwhelmed just going through this whole application really quick, short amount of time. We've all been there where we're filling out the applications, just graduated, we're seniors in high school, and you're overwhelmed. Just know that we've been through it and we're here to help you. And there's so many people here at BYU-Idaho who want you to be here. So don't hesitate to reach out. Application is pretty simple, but sometimes it's pretty complex.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost so simple it's complex. I know because I called the admissions office a million times when I was applying. So don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to help you guys. Oh, we have another question.
Perfect. We do. So the question says, can I change majors after applying? The answer is yes, 100%. So when you're on the application, it is going to ask you what type of major you want to be. If you have no idea, that is a-okay. There's an option to put undecided, or you can do general studies if you just aren't sure yet and still trying to figure that out. That is totally fine. When it comes time and you feel like you kind of know what major you want to go for, you can work with our advising office here on campus, and they can help you with changing your major. You also can do it on your own end with a grad plan, which that's a whole other topic, but I would just recommend talking to the advising office and getting some direction on changing it from there. But you totally can change it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've changed mine 4 times. You've changed yours a couple times.
Oh yeah, I think I've changed mine 3 or 4 times.
I didn't know what I was majoring for the first 2 years of college, so you can still go to university and still succeed, even if you're unsure at first. I had no idea. It looks like we do have another question about weighted or unweighted GPAs. So I guess the really easy way to know what you're going to have is if you took any AP courses, most likely the GPA, so your grade point average for when you were in high school, is going to be a weighted GPA. And that's because those classes are harder, so they adjust your GPA accordingly to account for that difficulty. Now, if you really just don't know what you have, don't try to guess. It really will be easiest to just contact your high school counselor, ask them for your GPA, and if you say unweighted or simple GPA, that's sometimes what it's referred to by certain high schools, they can get you that information. That's what they're there for. They want to help you get to college as well. If you don't know that, like I said, you can put your weighted GPA, which is basically just that scaled up GPA. Just have you put in your classes from 9th grade through 12th grade and the grades you've got, so that we can calculate that for you. That way you don't have to do the work in case you're unsure.
Well, and right next to the weighted and unweighted section, there is a little icon that says, "What is this?" And you can click on that and it explains to you again what the weighted and unweighted GPA means. So if you forget what we explained to you tonight and you're on the application, please, you can click on that. If it still doesn't make sense to you, like Jared said, I would just talk to your high school counselor and get your unweighted GPA or simple GPA, and they should be able to help you out with that.
It's true. I mean, I had no idea how to calculate my GPA in high school. I went to 3 different high schools, and each one of them used different grading systems. I had no idea, and my high school counselor was able to help me out. So they are a really good resource that you can use.
I went to one high school, and I still didn't know the difference. So it's okay. Anyway, but at least there's a couple resources there for you.
Awesome. If you do have any more questions, feel free to email us if you think of them at later. I know it can be hard to kind of think of something in the moment.
Putting you on the spot.
Yes.
But we do want to just really remind you and hone in to please scan this QR code. We'd love to keep in touch with you. We want to help you with this application process and also share the wonderful parts about BYU-Idaho that we're excited for you, and hopefully you come. But anyway, if you do have questions like Jared said, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We would love to answer your questions. We know that the application process can be hard, but we are happy to be here and answer those questions for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Bye.